the end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. So you wasted all your time now. So, getting closer to figuring this out, even though not quite at this point, but with origin. And this is what you're being told in this episode, that, well, it all boils down to love and where the babies come from, I guess. So the revelation of the three who are one, or the unknown, is revealed to be the son of Martha and Jonas. Now, this would be Jonas and the alternate Martha, which, this was an odd thing. The older version, not the really old version, but the sort of kind of older version, the one in the desolate future, tells Jonas that, hey, you can be with this Martha. Well, no, he can't. Now, even though this Martha is from an alternate timeline where Jonah never existed. But the problem is the DNA is the same. So whatever children you have might have problems because it's of a somewhat incestuous relationship, in that Martha is actually Jonas's aunt, as his father was her little brother who got lost in that time tunnel and started this whole thing. Well, actually, we know now. No, it didn't really start it. It dates back to the 1800s of people wanting to do time travel, and well, who put that thing there in the first place, and all that. That's all unraveling. But nevertheless, the events appeared to have, for the most part, occurred for that, and Jonas found himself, as he exists as a paradox, in that he should not exist at all. And then, of course, the terrible problems of he's in love with Martha, but he can't be with her, and all this sort of thing. Well, he gets with her. So then this Martha, in a little bit in the future, meets with Adam and is working with him for whatever reason. And Adam reveals that she's now pregnant with his child, well, not him as he is now, but his younger self, if he is indeed Jonas. But the point of being that, why? What do they mean that Martha and Jonas were Adam and Eve? Well, they gave birth to the unknown, who has the cleft lip. Is that a sign of the fact that he's a child of incest? I don't know. And plus, boy, is he messed up. Oh, well, that creepy dude and all that. But it just goes to show the consequences of one's actions in this bizarre sci-fi way. But at the heart of it all, it's kind of a soap opera, in that there's all these pursuits of love and broken hearts as the ultimate consequences and whatnot that goes on and continues to go on despite anyone's efforts to move on or right their ships that they are on in their lives, and it just doesn't seem to come together. And it's kind of it's a tragedy in that they're all doomed no matter what they do, in the classic sense of the term. Certainly plays out here in Dark, but still the mystery, and how are they going to untie the knot that they've tied this story into, I don't know yet. But here is what is called the origin. So apparently this act, I would assume, is even more significant than the act of, little Mickle going through the tunnel and then Jonas almost bringing him back and then meeting his future self, telling him, if you do, you'll never exist. And when he suddenly dawns on him that, holy crap, that's my dad. And so now, whenever he encounters the unknown, holy crap, that's my son. So maybe that gives some explanation as to how he ends up being Adam. It's like, because he's all kind of cold and everything, and he's like, yeah, I know you're all passionate and you want to do this or that, but it's all a waste of time. And that's kind of the story about, would your current self now would it appall your younger self, and depending on where you are and what you've decided and what you've given up on and what you no longer believe, or something along those lines, that kind of thing. And certainly is relatable, even with surrounded in this time travel storyline. But the consequences are displayed through the broken relationships and whatnot. I mean, you've got Hannah now living in the distant past after she's pretty much bummed out about where her life went. She pursued a man she couldn't really have, and then even when she got him, it wasn't any good. And then she goes back into the past, kind of gets revenge on him. Oh, well, kind of. She did. Good Lord. And then poor Tiedemann, young Tiedemann, not old man Tiedemann, ends up with an affair with her, and well, she gets pregnant. Now, this is the interesting thing about her pregnancy, that she almost has this abortion, and there's a pretty disturbing scene regarding all that, but she almost does it and then does it. So now she's pregnant and Martha's pregnant. So what's going on here? And here she is. She's a woman from the future. She's become pregnant by a man from the past. And so where does that go, Meanwhile, her alternate time self did get the man she wanted. But again, yeah, it didn't work out. He's still cheating. So it was all pointless for that pursuit. And which, anyone could have figured out. But, love and obsession, well, boy, they sure go together more times than they should. But such are the consequences. Meanwhile, the science fiction consequences, not just the soap opera elements of broken hearts and whatnot, but of course the devastated Earth. And it appears to be far more than just the general area where you had this disaster with the nuclear power plant. And so, what was it in totality? Did it have far more effects than just this town? And it appears to be the case. Especially where they met up, where the entire forest is gone. It's all desert. And then Noah shows up. Wow, what's that about, huh? So, yeah, still mysteries abounding and all well performed and laid out. And, gee, I hope it all makes sense. And since the origin might come to the deals of the manipulations that the unknown has been committing here, not just the murders, but got the power plant built because the mayor at the time in the past was not going to do it. And then they threatened him in a creepy way and got him to sign off on it. And so to make damn sure that thing was there. Otherwise, there's no time travel. So it all happens, and they wouldn't exist. So there's that motive of it in and of itself. But they seem to be, at least in the previous scene when they met with the really old Martha, they went home to mommy and seemed to be under her instruction. So, yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. But it dulls it out here and there, and it's one of these things I know I'm going to have to rewatch it to get it in total, because there's things you got to collect together and remember and get it all organized for it to explain itself. But good God, what a map they must have had on the wall to keep track of all this. But they do it well. So the payoff has to be good, of course. But so far, so very, very good with masterful performances here in Dark.
Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.